What up? What's up? Well, it's 2 a.m. This is my effort to make more vlogs for the week. Gonna go over and get this load here in a sec, and I guess we'll go inside real quick at the Sap Brothers. Do you need to go to the bathroom or anything? So let's get this week started. Almost 7,000 miles this week. Hoorah. Come on. Suck it up. Yeah, you got a few hours of sleep and gonna start our week, man. Let's get this thing going. See, it's a beautiful morning here in Salt Lake with our favorite scenery. Parked up against a electrical box with containers and tankers. And nice piss stains everywhere. Right. Alright. Let's rock on, man. Oi! A little flashback there, eh? Ain't done one of those in a while.
Right?
Uh-huh. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Right. Yeah.
So we went over, picked up our load. I better put my shoes on so I can go show everybody.
Right. First trailer.
This is our next cursed trailer. It's become our cursed trailer.
Become a ginormous pain in
Yeah, and funny thing is, it's also an extra lease trailer on this land. You know, Landstar bought a bunch of extra lease trailers to, you know, beef up the fleet. Because yeah, finding a Landstar trailer for a long time was just a real pain. Anybody knows Landstar, trying to find a trailer a lot of the time was always a pain in the ass. So anyway, we've had this trailer a couple times. It hasn't really been an issue because we weren't overweight. You know, we had a lighter load. This one today is about 33,000, and it feels a little heavy on the rear when I'm driving. You know, you can feel the trailer kind of teetering. All right, I've messed with it before, and I'll come back and touch on this whole thing of why we didn't bother getting it fixed. But anyway, the pins, you can see right there, pins won't retract when you pull the air plug. So they're just corroded up in there. Some of the air isn't driving them in. Extra lease. Now this has also happened too, where you can see right here, got a bum tire. It's off the bead. You can see, totally off the bead. So we drove it out here to Tooele real quick. Gonna get that fixed. In the past, it's been down to like 20 or 30 pounds, and I've just pumped it up and it was fine. It's off the bead today. I'm tired of screwing with it. Plus, I haven't weighed this load yet, but it feels heavy on the back. So screw it. I'm tired of messing with this tire. Just gonna get that done. Oh, it looks like something's stuck in it right there. And gonna see if they can do anything with the tandems to get them to slide, get those pins to pull in and get it to finally work, because it seems to be a thing too that this trailer gets dropped at FedEx every time, and people come into FedEx and pick up empties and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you got like 4 or 5 trailers sitting there and you pull up to an extra lease trailer or an actual Landstar trailer, which one you're going to take? You're going to take the Landstar trailer. So we keep getting stuck with this trailer on our runs, you know, just because it's the one left. So you go back to when we first started Landstar though, and we got an extra lease trailer. This is our next cursed trailer. It looks like we can't seem to get rid of this trailer or somebody else pick it up from the yard and get it back out in the system somewhere. So it never goes to the shop. It never, we don't have time to go to the shop typically. Like today is just forced, we gotta go. But we're on such a tight schedule all the time, just dropping a hook, and that this is gonna put us behind for the whole week now. And like I said, I'm gonna touch on a whole other thing with dealing with Landstar maintenance, which is kind of a pain that isn't like other trucking companies. So anyway, yeah, this one today though, we brought it over here. Hopefully they can do something with the tandem slide too, but at least get the tire fixed finally. So good times. So bum tire. Hopefully they can get the tandems. I got out there, banged on them with a hammer trying to get the pins to go in and stuff. It's not happening. They're all stuck. So hopefully it's just something in the airlines or something they can do something. I don't hear any leaks or anything like that, so I don't know. But the thing I was going to touch on about Landstar's trailer maintenance program, it's basically left to the driver. There's no shops for Landstar. There's no yards with Landstar that they have maintenance. All the trailers are just out here floating in the world. And if you pick one up you got a bum trailer, it's on you to go get it fixed. And the problem we keep running into is these trailers are all preloaded. We don't pick a trailer up empty and check it out and then have the option to take it to the shop and get it fixed like most, say, solo owner operators at Landstar would be. And I'll tell you the story what happened before we went home. Actually, it's well before we went home. The first load we pulled with this trailer from Des Moines back to Salt Lake.
No, this was the load. This was the trailer we dropped and then went home.
Yeah, but we had it before that.
Oh yeah.
Problem was, this is where, it's not a gripe, I guess. I just wish the system worked a little better for the drivers. That when you pick a trailer up like this, okay, the tire was low the first time I picked this trailer up in Des Moines, and I went over to the QT Mart right there, pumped it up. It was fine. It was holding air. It held air for the whole trip. It was fine. But we couldn't get the tandems to slide. Well, I put an inspection report in on the Qualcomm with just a note saying could not get the trailer tandems to slide, with a little note about the pins wouldn't retract. So what was it, a couple days goes by, and we went, it was our trip home to Vegas then too. We got back, dropped this trailer off. Yeah, it was that trip, I guess.
Yeah.
That dropped the trailer off. We booked it home because we're on a time thing. We got to get this load to Salt Lake. We dropped the trailer at the yard. They want their freight. We can't take it to the shop. Well, we're going to drop it, and then we're booking home anyway. So this is like the way the scenario worked out. Well, Landstar compliance calls us and says, yeah, we have this note about this trailer you had. And I'm like, yeah. And they said, well, what'd you do with it? And I go, well, we had to take it to FedEx. They wanted their freight. The only problem with it was we couldn't get the tandems to slide. But the scale that we used at FedEx in Des Moines, the load was legal. The pins were popped out. I mean, technically, we were legal to still run the trailer. It was okay, so we went ahead and did it. I just wanted to put a note in so somebody was aware of it. See, this is where it works against you at Landstar, where a lot of other carriers, this is a positive thing.
Yeah, they would just...
That you write trailers up. You find a problem, you write it up. You don't skip it. I did the right thing. I wrote it up, and they contacted me and said, well, did you take it to the shop? And I said, well, no, I had to take it to FedEx. It was within a time frame, we had to take it there. And so you don't have a PO number for the repair? And I'm all, no, I couldn't get it repaired. So, and she says, well, what are you going to do about it then? And I said, well, the trailer is at FedEx in Salt Lake City. I was going to suggest if you could have a trailer tech of some sorts, they can go to the yard there and fix it. Which you could say at Prime or any other trucking company you ever work with, they would actually do that. Or you could actually pull it to a yard, or you could pull it to a shop or whatever and get it fixed, or they would come and take care of it. That's a very common thing, Well, Landstar doesn't do that. And then on the flip side of that, because we didn't take it to a shop, they put our truck on hold.
Yeah.
Which means when you get your truck put on hold, they take you out of the system. You cannot run any more loads until that issue is resolved. And the thing is, the trailer got dropped at Salt Lake City. We went home for the week.
There was no way to resolve it.
There was no way to resolve it. And I explained this to them. I go, we went home. The trailer's in Salt Lake City full of freight, and it had to be dropped off by a certain time. I couldn't take it to a shop. There was technically nothing red tagged about the trailer. It was just a matter of, I put the note in the system to make somebody aware of it, right?
Right.
That makes perfect sense. Well, they put our truck on hold. Now, had we been looking for, like, if we weren't on this contract, we already had loads booked up for a couple more weeks, so we don't have to worry about it. When they put you on hold, what they do is you can't go on the load board. You can't make yourself available for agents to call you and offer you loads or anything. You're basically parked.
Yeah.
When you get put on hold until that issue is resolved. Well, thing is, I explain what happened, and I go, okay, well, we need you to write out an entire vehicle inspection report with an entire description of what it was and send that to us. All right. And then you need to call Breakdown and let them know, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, I did call Breakdown, and I talked to one of the guys there, and I wrote his name down, and they go, well, did he give you a PO number? And I'm all, no, because I asked him, and he said, well, there's no PO number because it's not in the shop. There you go, right?
Right. You would think that's,
yeah, this
simple.
The thing that happens at Landstar, and you can see why the buck gets passed a lot of the time. Guys don't write up trailers. They don't do anything about it if they don't have time to deal with it, because they'll just get put on hold. They get penalized for actually writing up an inspection report. It's kind of retarded. It really is. It works backwards. I mean, Landstar is a big bureaucratic corporation, and when they just have a flag in the system of somebody writing something up, they just put them on hold. Like, oh, we'll put you on hold then. Until you resolve it, you get put on hold. Well, running this dedicated run, we don't have time to sit in the shop every day, because we could find problems with trailers all the time if we really wanted to. And
just about every trailer we pick up is due for
they're all overdue for inspections. Nobody's taking care of this stuff, and it gets left on us that if we write it up, guess who gets screwed? Us. And it's like, well, shit. Everybody else is passing the buck. Landstar, from the top on down, you can say they pass the buck to the driver. They have no maintenance program for their trailers except for the drivers to take them to the shop and get them done. So the buck gets passed there down to the driver. If the driver tries to do the right thing by even just writing up a trailer, hoping that maybe Landstar's breakdown department will take it and they'll get somebody out there to fix it. That the trailer's in this yard, it needs to be looked at. Oh, okay, and they send somebody out. Nope. Doesn't happen. All they do is put you on hold, and we were already down in Vegas. We wanted to get, what do we have to do? We have to actually drive back up to Salt Lake and get the trailer and take it to the shop before you take us off hold. I was like, well, this is stupid. We're 400 something miles away at home. I mean, what do you want? The trailer's up there. What do you want us to do? And plus, two, the trailer may have already been unloaded by that point. Somebody else may have come in, actually picked the trailer up, and it might be in Florida by now. We don't know.
Right.
But they put us on hold until it physically gets resolved. And it's like, well, we had to go through this whole thing, and then it took days and days to even get us taken off hold after they said, okay, we'll take you off hold now. And then we were still suspended for even an extra almost week.
Yeah.
We were still out running the loads we already had booked for this run, but we were actually still suspended. And it was like, you guys gonna clean this up? I mean, what's going on? When you're dealing with a big corporate, or I even say bureaucratic presence like Landstar's, because they got a million different things, and nobody there talks to each other. It's almost like a government, like the FBI and the CIA and whatever. None of them communicate, so terrorist attack happens or something like that. Oh, if we had talked to the FBI, we would have known about that.
Yeah. Well,
nobody knows in Landstar what the other division is doing. Every department in Landstar is totally separate, and all they ever do is pass the buck
to the other department.
Which only encourages drivers when they get into a problem with something is to pass the buck as well, because all they know is the driver is going to get penalized for even bringing Landstar into the fold, because all they're going to do is put you on hold. And it's like, so when you get a bum trailer like this multiple times, what do you keep doing? Pass the buck. I don't want it. Nope, nope, nope. You know, hands off. I don't want to touch it, because I know all they're going to do is put me on hold, and I won't be able to run another load. Like if we had we not had this run, and we were just running loads off the load board, we would have been down for almost 2 weeks with no work because they put us on hold.
Yeah.
All over because I tried to do the right thing by riding up a trailer.
Yeah.
That was it. It's really kind of one of the downsides of Landstar, I gotta admit. It's one of those little foo bars, you know, one of those, what's foo bar? And snafu.
Yeah.
It's a snafu. Situation normal. All effed up. You know, it's just this thing that you got to deal with in this huge corporation where nobody knows what's going on with anybody else. None of them communicate, and nothing is streamlined to just work well. You know, it's as long as you don't have to deal with corporate, usually you're golden. You know, like you're out here just booking. But as soon as you got to deal with one little issue, like even a minor issue with a trailer, who gets penalized? Booyah, right?
Right.
It's just one of those things. It's a kind of a pain to deal with. That it's not progressive. It's not a positive part of Landstar, I guess.
Yeah.
I wish they'd change that and become more like all the other carriers out here, where it's proactive. You know, that when you write something up, somebody's on top of it. Somebody's moving after it. Somebody, you know, they're trying to keep things moving and stuff. Instead, they just put a big old, just drop a big old cleaver right in the highway and just go, nope, sorry. They go, oh, we're going to throw up the blockades on this one. And it's like everybody comes to a grinding halt, and then it becomes this big bureaucratic procedure just to get it, the paperwork. It's just paperwork. That's all it even was, too. Just to get it cleaned up where they take you off hold and let you start running loads again. So, all because of one little thing. And now, it's our Monday of our long week.
Yeah.
And we're going to be sitting at the shop for hours and be late and be behind all week now and everything. Because you know what? Ultimately, karma, I guess you could say, has come back around. This trailer, who's having to take care of it? Us. Yeah. Again, because this trailer is obviously going to be on us on this FedEx run for a while, because nobody else is going to take it. So.
And thanks to whoever dropped it in the first place.
Well, how many people did it go through?
Yeah.
Because obviously that's not a new problem. We've seen it a couple times now. We've had this trailer twice.
No,
like I said, I did the right thing. Is it fourth time?
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, I didn't even touch it because I already knew what was going to happen if I wrote it up again. We didn't have time to go to the shop. The tire was full of air and it was holding. The load was light enough that I didn't need to slide the tandem, so I just left it. I ain't touching it again because I don't want to get put on hold again. Screw it.
Right.
Passing the buck.
And the thing that sucks is, like, we only have about an hour and a half of free time on this run for anything to go
like
wrong.
An hour. We got like an hour to deal with.
Yeah.
And a shop, you know, is going to take hours. We already called in, hey, we got to take trailer to the shop. Too bad, so sad. And they're like, how long are you going to be? It's FedEx, you know. FedEx wants their stuff, and if we can't pull into the yard and drop and hook with decent trailers because everybody's been passing the buck, because nobody wants to write anything up, because all they'll do is get put on hold by Landstar and lose ultimately, instead of it being a positive thing where, hey, I wrote the trailer up, can you guys take care of it? Yeah, we're on it. Okay, great, thanks. Boom, keep on booking. Everybody's making money.
Right.
Instead, like I said, roadblock. So that's my gripe.
Yep.
One of the downsides of Landstar, you'll come to find out. I wish Landstar streamlined more of their stuff a little bit, you know, just made it a little easier to deal with sometimes. But, and then too, we come in here and I told the shop dude, I said, yeah, I can't get the pins to pull in, you know, it's an air-driven system and can't get the pins to retract. And he's like, well, I guess we can take a look at it, but, you know, he's just like they don't even know how to fix it either. I'm like, great. Well, hopefully the load's not overweight or it's all screwed.
Yeah.
Get the tire fixed. I'll pull off, check the weight after if he can get the pins to retract and just fix it, fine. But then if he can't, the tandems are slid all the way to the front right now. that I'm going to pull off and scale it. Like I said, we're like 33,000 pounds on this load. It feels like it's heavy on the back though. So just by the way the trailer was riding and stuff, feels like it was kind of light in the front, kicking up a little bit. So if it's overweight and we can't get that fixed, we're going to have to find a trailer shop to take it to, which means we might get bumped for a whole damn thing. So
yeah, for a whole round trip. That'll be great.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
So we're at this rest stop just outside of Park City, pretty much. Heading up to Evanston, Wyoming. It is 3 in the afternoon.
we're just a couple hours behind.
Just a skosh, just a pinch. Yeah, we didn't get out of Salt Lake until a little bit after 1 o'clock. Got the tire replaced that was flat, and then the brake chamber that engages the tandem sliding pins and everything, you know, to engage and disengage the pins. You know, it's air driven and has a little brake chamber up in there that does it. Well, the brake chamber ended up being shot, which is pretty much what was looking like from the get-go. They messed with it for a while, stuff like that, but then they had to order the part, and as soon as the part showed up, slapped it on there, everything was fixed. Now we're all good, right?
Yeah.
Now we're switching out. It's going to make for an interesting bunch of runs this week. We're going to be behind the entire time. So we're switching out right now. She's going to run until after midnight. When my 10 hours is up, just going to switch right back out. We're not expecting to be into Des Moines until late tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Like 10 a.m., 10 or 11 a.m. it looks like. So although it is a good thing that we got this done, because we would have been screwed either way and had to have it fixed, because after we managed to get the pin slid about 5 slots, like pretty much the tandems are scooted all the way up to the front. As soon as we got them scooted back about 5 notches, I went and weighed it, and I was already saying,
yeah,
my intuition was correct, that the trailer felt heavy on the rear because it was kind of like wheelie popping, you know. I could feel it on the 5th wheel and stuff like that. There was light in the front, heavy in the back.
His ESPN was correct.
My ESPN. So went and got it scaled, and this was with basically the tandem slid to the California hole. You can see right here. 33,620 on the rear.
That was after 5 holes.
And that was after 5 holes. So before we got it fixed, it was all the way up front, so it would have actually been over, and we would have been screwed.
Yeah,
so
would have been about what, like 35?
It probably would have been like 35 or 36, so it would have been even worse. So I even slid it back more holes just to be on the safe side, even the weight out a little bit, and we're good to go. I don't know what the hell they loaded on the back of this thing to make it so goddamn heavy, but that was the deal. So
kilos on the front and a Volkswagen on the back.
Yep. Yep. Well, like I said, yeah. Teddy bears on the front, scrap metal on the back.
Right?
Yeah. So now our whole week is pretty much topsy-turvy. We'll get into Des Moines by 10 or 11. That'll be the end of my shift in the morning. She'll start driving early. I don't know, it won't be too bad, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe by the end of the week we'll
catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
But at least nice scenery out here at the rest stop.
Yeah.
Nice Utah Red Rock Mountains, whatever you want to call this.
Yeah.
Red Rock. Good times. So that is the source of our woes today.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, so.
Yay!
We're off.
Yep, we're out of here. So the trailer fixed. All's well, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for screwed up schedule now.
Right.
All right.
Shift.
Look at you shifting like a champ. Watch the next 2 though, y'all. See you do it. See you do it. Ooh, no clutch? Wow.
Yeah.
Floating like a queen. I'm not gonna say king because that would be sexist. Right?
Right.
Watch the road. What are you doing? All right, good times. Yeah. I guess Monday didn't go as planned, eh? Hoping to get off to our long week and really get out here and get moving. And the forces that be said, not so fast there, chummy.
Right. I guess the only positive side is that it doesn't look like they're going to cancel any loads on us. So.
No, we're not getting any loads canceled. We'll get all of our money this week, so that'll be a big plus. Especially since we're saving for a truck.
Yes.
Definitely going after that.
That's all I'm thinking today.
Truck. Still want your 1994 Sterling? Yep. All right, sweet.
Although I was debating that Diamond Rio, that was a good idea.
Yeah, the Diamond Rio, that was a good idea. Maybe a 1970 white. That would be a good truck.
Cab over.
Yeah, cab
Just
over.
stool in it.
Yeah, cab over with no seats. Just got to get a dining room chair to put in there for a seat. Yeah. True story. True story.
Right?
Yeah, people think trucking was bad now.
Yeah.
You know, as far as equipment and all that stuff. Yeah. When you actually get up in your truck and you have no driver's seat,
Like,
and the owner just runs back. Yeah, the owner runs back in the office and brings you out a kitchen chair to put in it. That should get you by for a while. True story. True story. All right. Utah.
Utah.
Out.